I'm like scapegoat or something. I just want to let everybody know, you know what I'm saying, I ain't, you know what I'm saying, I didn't do it.
Keefe D, no disrespect to me. He did what he had to do to walk home.
Yeah. You get out of trouble. This mother was talking about 25 years. I didn't have no fucking 25 years.
He said what he had to say to be a free man. All the players is dead right now. He's the only spade left on the table. He gonna win or he gonna lose.
So you don't believe that Von Zip is the one that provided, you know, Keefe D the gun to shoot Tupac?
I don't believe. I've been around Zip plenty of times. Zip ain't have a gun on him when the 17-year-old kid shot him in the stomach. If Zip was a gun carrier, and he's in front of his club. Zip was never known for carrying a gun. You feel me?
I feel you, man. So when it comes to, you know, who shot Tupac, right? You still believe that Orlando, he wasn't the one?
Man, I go by what the witness say who was there, not what somebody come out 10 years ago and make up.
All right, so you spoke to Keefe D. How does he feel about Murder Rap the book and what Greg said that he said in the book?
Well, he said it was all bullshit. Ultimately, he does not stand by what he said in that proffer interview that was, thrown together by Keating. He did not know that he was being taped. He was unaware of that, and he has pretty much admitted that most of what he told Greg Keating was not true. And the reason that it wasn't true was because he was looking at,
This mother was talking about 25 years. I didn't have no fucking 25 years.
in his words, 24 to 25 years behind bars, and you're going to say whatever it is you have to say.
61-year-old Dwayne Keffe D. Davis says the night of the murder, September 7th, 1996, he was in Los Angeles, 300 miles from the Las Vegas intersection where Tupac Shakur was gunned down.
Ever killed nobody. They don't have no evidence against me. Came and put me in Las Vegas. I ain't killed nobody, never did ever kill nobody.
Davis now says his previous admissions connected with the shooting were made under duress and for money, claiming he did not write his own memoir and was fed information by police.
I shouldn't have said nothing. You know what I'm saying? I shouldn't have said nothing. And I'm innocent, man.
In the situation involving Keefe D, his arrest, why do you think that they decided to do it now?
One, let's be very honest, he's not a very intelligent individual.
Okay.
When you go on air and say you participated in a high-scale assassination, eventually it's going to come back on you. I was surprised he went that far, that long without them arresting him. He was involved in them. He was in the car.
Mm-hmm.
That's aiding and abetting in a murder. But he was doing his part with the rest of the people who were talking about the Orlando Anderson. He was fulfilling that glitch. He was adding to their truth, which we all know wasn't true. We know a lot of other things, particularly death row.
Well, yeah, he's right. Y'all boy Keefe D said it was a duffel bag of cash. I told y'all that's not accurate either. But the check was done by Death Row.
But anyway,
Right. The fact that Keefe D wasn't the shooter, does it mean any more or any less? Or are you happy that somebody is actually being charged who admittingly was involved with the murder of your son, Tupac Shakur?
I think it does absolutely nothing. I'm just as empty by the loss of my son as the rest of the world is. Everybody can see through this thin veil of deceit. It was ridiculous. They didn't believe it when he was on YouTube and VAD every week talking that stupid stuff. He's just not an intelligent individual.
Mm-hmm.
And the people they use to fabricate their story, their belief, are not usually intelligent. And I don't feel bad that, in fact, he got arrested, but I don't think it's closure. I think it's still open to debate. But I don't think we'll ever find out who really did the shooting. But we know it wasn't no one individual. And I don't think He might have been involved in it, Keefe D, but he was a pawn. He was being used, basically, maybe by the government, maybe by death row.
Mm-hmm.
But death row and the government is one and the same at this particular time.
Okay.
Not for nothing. I do one way or the other. Do I think he was in charge? Do I think that he came up with this idea on his own? I disagree with that. I think he was a tool. I think he was a pawn being used. And they used him well. Look how long it took him for the rest. 20-something years.
Mm-hmm.
His story is written in stone now. His story is written in granite. Orlando Anderson. If you ask the average individual in the world, who killed Tupac, they would say Orlando Anderson. Same thing with the Kennedy. The same thing, Lee Harvey Oswald. They would all say that because they don't know any better. And that was the easy one to accept, especially since it lasted 27 years that Orlando Anderson was the shooter.
I think Orlando was a setup too. And again, that's just my that's my setup, because I had spoken. There's a producer by the name of Caviar in L.A. that's Orlando's cousin, and I think maybe a year after the shooting, Cavi had spoken to him, and Orlando told him, "Dude, there's no way in hell I could have done anything after the beat up." He said, "I was laid up in a hotel room." And he's like, "But I was getting all kinds of street cred as being the guy that shot Pac, so I just went with it."
I ain't gonna tell a story, but I tell you this. And I never had nothing bad to say about Orlando, because number one, he wasn't the shooter.
And so Suge's playing word games with him by saying he had no power, because he was in prison. In county jail. So Orlando Anderson came to court to testify for him out of the goodness of his heart. Come on, y'all. Hey. Yeah, I think that's why Orlando came to court, because he loved this guy. Suge Knight saved his life. He was pulling people off me. If it wasn't for Suge, I'll probably be dead. This is what his testimony was. And so this hardcore young Crip gonna get on the stand and testify for that without any incentive. All right, that's what we believe in now.
He didn't try to pay. He did pay him more.
How much?
Gave us like $60,000.
So tell me about that.
One night I was at home and nephew called my phone and said, "Come up to the lawyer's office for 2 guns." So I go up to Edie Fall office with the 2 guns. I get there, it's Suge.
Suge's playing word games with him by saying he had no power, because he was in prison.
Sergeant Reynolds, Little Reggie keep on saying it was him, but it wasn't him. I know you from your daddy, dude. That was your daddy. Showed up at the what's the name? Showed up at the office, gave us $60,000. It was to say that he didn't kick him and stuff like that, but it was really to get us up off their ass, cause we really wore their ass out. We wore them out, dude. It wasn't even no competition. And he even said it himself. He said we weren't ready for y'all.
We said this in Tupac Assassination, Conspiracy Revenge, that they set up that hit. And the reason I said that, I agree with you. Yeah, and the reason that's exactly. The reason I said that is because of what transpired from 2001 when I wasn't blind anymore. Yeah. Sometimes the blinders are on and we're like this, we only see this way. Right. But when you take those blinders off, you can see all around.
And Tupac had a vicious fight in New York at the MTV Awards. And Tupac told one of the bodyguards, after he was finished with a video shoot, they're walking him to the airplane, he told this bodyguard, who's a real good friend of mine to this day, he said, "I'm a dead man walking." And he said, "Pac, why would you say something like that?" He said, "Because I don't want to go to Vegas, and I got a bad feeling about it." And that was September 6th. It was a Friday, because they had just finished shooting Toss It Up. Absolutely. Somebody set him up. Now, the conclusion, recently, within the last week or two, the last 2 weeks, 3 weeks, the FBI released a 349-page document saying that in their findings that Suge Knight and Reggie Wright orchestrated and put a hit on both of them.
Even though Orlando Anderson testified for Suge was still found guilty, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so we got it like 60,000 for nothing, for free. But it was really to stop that war. You know what I'm saying? He even said it that night. His homeboys wasn't ready for us.
Okay, so okay.
But she'll know. I know he didn't want that to happen. You know what I'm saying? I know he didn't want that to happen at all. You know, before he even got there, they was already with that bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, he wouldn't have let that happen if he would have been in it in the beginning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm quite sure he wouldn't have let that happen to my nephew. You know, yeah, he just came at the end and just joined in. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
Front, Pac, and Suge, and everybody is following me now.
After the beating, there seems to be a divergence of stories. On one hand, some people say that Orlando Anderson left the MGM to go on and do other things. But witness Corey Edwards actually said that Orlando Anderson stayed at the bar. Corey Edwards was there with friends, as was Orlando Anderson. And if Orlando Anderson was in fact at that bar, according to Corey Edwards, you don't think the Las Vegas Police Department would have checked the closed-circuit cameras at the MGM to find out whether that was true? Well, Russell Poole said they did, and Russell Poole said that that was true.
Court. They claim there is evidence he was in the white Cadillac that night in Las Vegas, that he got out and fired the shots.
From 1995 to date, have you ever ridden in a white Cadillac?
No.
Do you know anyone who owns a white Cadillac?
No.
Anderson, an alleged Los Angeles gang member, has vigorously denied any involvement in the murder and in depositions claimed he was not at the scene.
Regardless, Anderson and Duro pulled into the car wash and confronted the Stones and, assumedly, Daniel. Words were exchanged, guns were drawn. And of course, there are different versions of what happened next. In one version, Baby Lane and Owl tell the Stones that their beef is with Daniel, not with them. And in another version, Orlando Anderson convinced the Stones to lower their weapons or put them away, and then started shooting. Still sitting behind the wheel of his Blazer, not realizing one of the Stones still had his gun at the ready. Whether or not that's how it went down, at the trial that followed in 1999, it was reportedly proven that Anderson fired the first shots, and then the Stones returned fire. All 4 people involved were reportedly hit. The only person left unscathed was, ironically, Daniel, the person the 2 Southside Crips had the issue with. Mortally wounded during the shooting, Orlando Anderson allegedly dropped his gun, but then Duro picked it up and also fired rounds at the Stones before Anderson and Duro sped away, with Anderson still behind the wheel. Keefe has claimed that Owl told him later that everybody at the car wash was shooting at them. Owl and Baby Lane's getaway didn't make it far. Anderson was seriously wounded and only made it a few blocks before coming to a stop in the bullet-riddled Blazer. The front tire was flat, and Anderson had been hit in the chest, and he told Owl that he couldn't feel his legs. Owl allegedly handed their gun to a nearby teenager and told them to get rid of it, or he ditched it himself behind Compton High School.
Believed Reggie Wright Jr. was involved in the killing of Orlando Anderson. He said Reggie Wright Jr.'s champagne-colored Chevy Blazer was a perfect match, fitting the description of the suspect vehicle described by more than one witness who made statements concerning the killing of Orlando Anderson. He also confirmed the presence of Kevin Gaines, David Mack, and Rafael Perez as special guests regulars of Suge Knight's private parties thrown for his inner circle. Both Reggie Wright Jr. and Suge Knight were and are very familiar with these men. Kevin Hackey was later identified as a confidential informant for the FBI.
Well, one of the cops actually asked Orlando about Tupac's murder as he was dying to try to get a death confession.
It's still, that's still definitely a police, one of my gang guys, Ray Richardson did go toward the unit, went, because he was on the unit, you know, how they roll you in, and I think Ray approached him and said something to him, and then Ray subsequently told me, because he asked him, you know, about the shooting, and then he said about the Tupac thing, and he said, go to hell. He told Ray where to go, you know.
Told him to go to hell.
I don't know if it was to hell or where, but it wasn't nice. Ray Richardson would have to tell you, but that was the response.
Orlando passes away. Did more information come out about the Tupac shooting? Because, you know, a lot of times people are more prone to talk about someone when they're no longer there.
Well, yeah, things came out, but from the streets, at least my unit and us, we were always convinced who it was, you know. Matter of fact, as it came to me with my sergeant, Bobby Baker and them, they started investigating the Tupac shooting the day after and started getting information.
A lot of people have died that were directly or indirectly linked to this investigation.
Do you see how this operates? From one side, they're feeding Vegas all this disinformation, and the other side is obstructing the investigation and telling people to avoid the police. I don't think Vegas understood how crooked death row was at that point, so they believed these Compton guys. You know, Brennan was saying good things about both rights, so Vegas trusted them.
Matter of fact, I remember Sergeant Baker found the white Cadillac that they were in that was being, the bullet holes or something were being repaired at a body shop that we were familiar with. Yeah. And Bobby ended up going there. I think found out it was a rental car or something, but the actual car, excuse me. And then during the raids that we conducted, at least at some point doing it, they thought they found a gun at a stash house in Southside that was similar caliber and all that.
One of security that works with directly for Mr. Knight came over the radio. Now, I couldn't pinpoint exactly whose voice it was, but it was some voice that I had heard before. So I knew it was one of our, not one of our direct security that was hired with us, but one of the, what do we call them? One of the homeboy securities, you said, got him right before me and Mr. Wright got in the vehicle to go get to the hospital.
So Michael was with Reggie and they went to the hospital together. And Michael talks about hearing something over the radio. Well, he would have heard it over Reggie's radio because he wouldn't have had a radio that night.
Orlando?
Yes.
Let me just ask you point blank, did you kill Tupac Shakur?
I didn't kill Tupac. I mean, I don't know why, you know what I'm saying? They would even say something like that. I mean, you know, I just want to tell everyone that, you know what I mean, I didn't do it, and you know, so I feel sorry for him, you know what I'm saying, his fans and his, you know, and his family.
If you go watch the surveillance video of that whole thing is a play.
Okay.
You can see the man who we allege is Kevin Gaines stand there watching the fight, then comes back later and walks Orlando out of there. Orlando don't walk out of there with no police. A detective or some guy come and walk Orlando. It takes him from the Vegas police and walk him out of there, right? Orlando wasn't the shooter because his fucking arm got kicked out the shoulder. His shoulder got kicked out of place. He's at the hospital, right? If you go look at the hospital records, you could tell when he was released that he couldn't have been at the goddamn scene of the crime.
Bubba Love gets killed, he's down in Compton, okay? A lot of cats get whacked down in Compton, but it wasn't so much that he got killed, it was the fact that within minutes of it happening, Katie had it on blast. Yeah, on all the chat boards and all the interviews, the sites. And, I've seen all that bullshit. Yeah, okay. You said, see that. I'm glad you had a chance to see it because the thing about it is that, and I did. I'll bring you a copy of it.
And you put my picture all on the fucking thing.
Dude, let me tell you something.
That shit illegal.
I got a copy. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. I got a copy of Murder Rap, his movie that he hasn't put out yet. It's supposed to drop November 14th. Yeah. He's playing your taped interview in that movie. Your voice and everything. I would.
Yeah.
I would get a civil rights attorney, and you sue the LAPD too, because
the FBI told me to sue their ass.
Well, listen to me tell you something.
They said they came to my house right before his book came out. So this guy's putting your life in danger. You sue his ass and the LAPD, city of LA. They told me everything. They, do you want to move? I ain't scared of nothing. They said, "Oh, we know you ain't scared of nothing like that. But we gotta come offer you that to move you and stuff like that." Was Timothy, got that dude's last name.
Seriously, or Siri? He was the U.S. attorney, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
well,
that's because FBI agents in my house.
Did he?
Yeah.
He did.
That dude is putting out a movie, and we got to protect you. Do you want to move?
What I believe that you told Greg Cady was what Greg Cady wanted to hear.
Yeah. You get out of trouble. This one was talking about 25 years. I ain't had no fucking 25 years, man.
Don't tap at me and then try to backtrack it with the ha ha ha. Nigga, fuck you. I don't play those games, nigga. You know that. Nigga. Just because you over there now thinking you got niggas from the hood, those little youngsters don't know the pedigree. They don't know where you really from. Long Beach Crip. They don't know all of that. They don't know how you been saved, nigga. How niggas saved you in county jail and shit. Story's gonna be told. Stop playing with Reggie motherfucking Wright, nigga. It's gonna be some stories. I'm going to get y'all that interview y'all been wanting. Cause trust me, he gonna be calling Vlad or John or Art, somebody, offering to do the interview for free. Nigga, say one more word. Mention my name one more time to people that I work with. Meaning John. Fuck it, I ain't gonna sugarcoat it. Stop texting John with your bullshit, nigga. You got my number. You know how to get my number. You know how to get a hold of me. Please, stop playing with me. I know too much about you guys that walk around now with your chest all poked out, running to Cleveland, Ohio and stuff, thinking you the man, and you this and you that. Nigga, I tell stories. I have niggas come on when they just say, who's in St. Louis? Who got what? Where that nigga at? Tell him come here. I'm gonna take that. Man, no, why do you niggas be playing with Reggie in this day? Y'all know. I can see whole ass niggas in the comment sections on YouTube, but niggas that know. Oh man. Don't make me have to play with you. That's just the tap that the principal used to give you with the ruler. Cause nigga, I'm gonna spank your ass. Say another word. I promise you. I want you to. Let's play. Let's have fun. Let's have a 2024 great year, Negro. Cause I play both sides. Both sides. You know that. We can play it on social media, or we can... Nigga, please. Okay? Either way. Because you ain't going to be able to say, oh, it jammed. It jammed when I was getting out of the trash can. I was in the trash can and it... You ain't going to be able to say that with me, nigga. They're going to be saying, oh. R.I.P. That's what they're going to be saying. You come fucking with Reggie, R.I.P. No threats, promises, bro.
Were you involved in any way in the death of Tupac Shakur?
No, I was not involved. I mean, I'm like a victim, you know what I'm saying? I feel, you know what I'm saying, sorry for him. And, you know, like I said, I was a fan of him. I mean, I've been thinking, you know, maybe I'm a scapegoat or something. I just want to let everybody know, you know what I'm saying, I ain't, you know what I'm saying, I didn't do it.
Well, like I always say, I'm just putting the puzzle pieces on the table. It's becoming almost undeniable that it wasn't Eve Orlando getting jumped that night. If you look close at the clip, whoever was getting jumped didn't even appear to have a jersey on. Massive shout out to the homie, Valinteno from Discretion TV. He was the first one I saw point this out. If you're into long form live discussions, I suggest you go and subscribe to his channel at Discretion 304 TV. But back to the situation at hand. Look at the inconsistencies here, starting with Keefe D and the 6OK exchange. Either Keefe D or Reggie Jr. is flat out lying. One of them says Knight was right there at the exchange, and the other says Knight was locked up at the time. Which one is it? They both can't be right. And for Pac Dad to come out and say it had something to do with death row, that makes everyone at death row a suspect. It definitely makes you wonder what the family really thinks and what they're probably keeping to themselves out of safety. Think about it. The 6OK exchange is already very questionable. If there's a real possibility it wasn't even Orlando getting jumped in that lobby, what was that money even for? What were the stipulations? Plus, this whole dislocated shoulder theory is sketchy. Listen up. It takes 12 to 16 weeks for a dislocated shoulder to heal. Orlando did an interview just 6 weeks after the situation. If his shoulder was really popped out of place like they claim, he should have been in a medical shoulder sling during that interview. I think Orlando being at the food court completely destroys the theory of him being in the Cadillac. There was even documented evidence of him being at the food court that night, but just like a lot of critical evidence in this case, it slowly and conveniently disappeared. Now let's talk about the Reggies. Senior said Las Vegas police started investigating and found this and found that, but word on the street is they were actually aiding the investigation with bad information, like confirming Orlando was the shooter without a shadow of a doubt. Just to wrap it up, then Orlando gets taken out, and allegedly a vehicle matching the description of a car owned by Reggie Jr. was spotted right there at the scene. That's questionable for sure. Keefe D saying he said what he said because he was coached by the police is wild, but the part people don't understand is the why. Keefe D was an informant, and like Pac Dad said, he's not too bright. In that audio recording, Keefe D literally mentions talking to the feds and discussing suing the LAPD for coaching him into a confession, and another thing, them telling him his life is in danger and that they were going to move him. That sounds a lot like witness protection to me. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. Shout out to everyone staying tuned into the channel. If you're part of the fam, this is not just my platform, it's our platform. So make sure you subscribe and join the fam. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.